All right, fight fans, welcome to another edition of No Stand 8 Boxing Talk. I'm your host, the Bronx Bomber, and today I got Merciless McGee in the building. Champ, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Well, I'm doing great. I'm so excited you're on my show. I appreciate you coming on. We got some things we got to talk about. We're going to get into the meat of those things. But first and foremost, let me introduce you. She is currently the IBF world champion. You can see the belt right behind her. All right.
Well,
and she boasts a record of 27-3 with 15 knockouts. She's been in the game for over 20 years. So we welcome you. Thank you for being on the show. Tell people you have a significant following. You're on social media, over 35,000 followers on Instagram, another someone on Twitter. So you're well known. But for the people that may not know you or don't follow boxing like that, tell them a little bit about yourself, how you started boxing.
Well, I started boxing when I was 13 going on 14 years old. And I was a cheerleader back then, but I really didn't. I liked cheerleading, but the team effort didn't work for me that well. So I had this guy that he played basketball, but he also was a boxer, and he introduced me to the boxing gym. And when I walked in the boxing gym, I just instantly was like, wow, I think I love it here because I always been kind of aggressive and like to fight. So I'm like, yeah, this might be the place to be.
Okay. All right. And then I did a little research on you before doing this, and you went to the gym and the coach didn't even want to fool with you at first, right?
No, he looked at me and he was like, you don't want to box? I was like, yes, I do. He was like, no, you don't. So he let me stay there for 3 days, right? And on the third day, he made me spar and got me beat up. So he thought by getting me beat up, that was going to make me be like, I don't want to do this. It made me more hungry. Like, I was like, I'm finna get in shape and beat up them 2 people that beat me up. It was a guy and a girl. And I said, I'm finna get in shape and beat them up. And I just trained really, really hard for like 8 months after that, but nobody paid me no attention. And he threw me in a tournament and I had to fight 3 girls, happened to be 3 girls in my weight class at that time. And it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday tournament, and I won all 3 fights.
Nice. And then that was it. That's all she wrote. There was no stopping you.
History, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you make your bones. You had a couple title fights, and you came up a little short, but finally you win the big one. You finally become a world champion.
Mm-hmm.
Where does nickname Merciless come from? What tell the fans
the
how
first,
that
the first trainer, my first trainer, my amateur coach. His name was John Taylor, and he said though my style of fighting was merciless. He said no matter what's happening in the fight, no matter what the other fighter is doing to me, I never quit. I'm always fighting. I'm always punching. And if you really do watch my style of fighting, nothing makes me give up. Nothing makes me fold. I'm consistently coming. Even in the fights that I've lost, you'll notice in the last round, I literally run out of the corner, still trying to win the fight.
Oh yeah, I've seen a few of your fights, and yeah, that is true. You are constantly punching, but aside from your merciless attack, aside from your ruthlessness, you can box. You got some skills.
Yeah, I think so. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, you move, you know how to utilize your jab, your 1-2. What would you say is your most effective punch?
My jab.
Jab, yeah.
I think nice. I have long arms naturally. I have a 72-inch reach span, and just that alone keeps people. I can keep people out with my jab as long as I use it.
Yeah, and you mentioned something about being a cheerleader, but something struck me about you in the way your attitude. Were you always a fighter outside the gym before you even put on gloves?
I always been kind of aggressive. I've always been kind of aggressive person in a way, and I got into a few fights. Yeah, but yeah, you know.
Yeah, so originally from Gary, Indiana, huh?
Yeah, I'm from Gary, Indiana.
You still there?
Yep, I own a house here.
Okay, nice. So Gary all day long. Born,
my whole
there,
family here. I got at least 6 or 7 of my family members that stay on this very street with me.
All right, nice. Family's a big thing. Prior to your injury, we're gonna get into that a little bit. You were slated to fight defend your title, and also fight for the vacant WBO against Argentine former world champion Victoria Bustos. Up to your injury, because you injured yourself sparring, right? In the sparring session, you said it was water. There was water in the ring. You slipped on it.
Yep.
Man, so that was a tough break for you. Up to that point, though, how was your training camp going? How did you feel?
I was feeling great. The guy I was sparring, his name is Julian Smith. He had just came back off a knockout win in the guy hometown. And we went 10 rounds straight. And in the last round, you know, when you sparring, it's hot out here. It's like 90 degrees. So we sweating and we're wet. So by the 10th round, the ring is pretty wet. And we were trying to wipe it up pretty good, but it was a spot where it was a lot of water that was left. And I stepped back. And when I stepped back into it, I lost my whole back foot. And when I lost my back foot, my front leg twisted in and I felt the pain instantly.
Man. So everything was going good. And at any point, stick it to the boxing side of the house, because we're going to get into that other stuff here in a little second. At any point that you feel, did you see anything of Victoria Bustos that threatened you, that you feel like you had to work on, that, you know, a strategy?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. With any fight, I underestimate nobody, because I've lost to somebody that was 5-3 when I was 17-0. So I underestimate nobody. But Victoria Bustos couldn't bust a grape with a sledgehammer. She 21-6 with no knockouts. So either you got power and don't know how to use it, or you don't have no power at all. And you're not going to learn to have power with a fighter like me that got 15 knockouts, that knows how to use their power. You're not going to just magically wake up and now, you know. So that's one slight to you, because I'm merciless. So with that being said, you have to give me something to make me respect you. And if you don't hurt me, I'm going to keep coming.
That's right.
I'm going to just keep coming. I'm going to walk you down all night. I got skills. I'm going to use my skills against you. Not saying that I trained for her hard and I wanted to fight back because she disrespected me. So, and then I was defending my title. But in the same token, it's like with her, I feel like that would have been one of my easier fights that I've had in a while.
Right. So in the lead up to this fight, like most fighters do, prior to the fight, you know, we get into some heated trash talking with the opponents. Sometimes they do it to sell tickets. Sometimes there's some real animosity between fighters. I don't think that was the case between your boosters. It was just normal trash talking.
What happened was
from your side, your story now, how did things go south?
And I'm gonna tell the truth. What happened was, it was a post that was made. It was a picture of Victoria. And the person that made the post, I guess they like some boxing site, but they made it seem as if Victoria was the champion and not me. So my friend Clarissa Shields, she came on there and commented and said, this post should say the champion Mary McGee is defending her IBF world title, not making it seem like Victoria is the champion. So I commented to Clarissa and I said, well, you know how they do us. This is what I said. I said, it's cool. We'll see if they show me some respect after I beat her around the ring. That's what I said to Clarissa. Victoria then tagged me in a post and said, I hope you can knock me out like Dice. The post I posted on my Twitter. I hope you can knock me out like Dice. Because if you can, I'm going to make sure that you have a hard time. And because you're a bunch of blah, blah. And then she went on to say some other stuff. And then I went on and commented back. I said, girl, please don't tag me in nothing ever. Go put your sweat bag back on. She came back with another comment. I told her again, I said, man, look, I'm telling you, leave me alone because I'm funny. I said, I'm telling you, leave me alone. Good luck. I'll see you August 20th. She came back with another comment. That's when I chewed her up and she couldn't take my jokes. I chewed up. I said all kind of stuff to her. I ain't finna sit here and lie and make it seem like I'm 100% innocent in the situation. I'm not. I talk trash. If you talk trash to me, I'm cool with it. I'll laugh your jokes off. She couldn't take the stuff that I was saying to her. So she came back with blah, 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 little monkey. Huh? Anybody from America know calling a black person a monkey is racist. That's just a nice way of saying the N-word. So it was like, well, if you're gonna talk trash, if you don't want nobody talking trash to you, don't tag them in no posts. If you don't want nobody coming at you, don't tag their name. You feel me? So she tagged my name, thinking I guess I was just gonna let her say whatever she say, and then it was gonna be that. Don't work with Mary McGee, and anybody know that.
So at that point, there was a line crossed, in your opinion. So you received that as a racial slur from her part.
Yeah. Then the emoji she used, she tried to use the big black gorilla, which anybody with any sense knows that's not a monkey. Duh. They have a monkey emoji. You should have used that. But she used the big black gorilla. So come on now, put two and two together. I ain't gonna lie, my jokes was pretty harsh and funny. And if you not funny, you shouldn't jive with me, you know? And she couldn't take the jokes. And I knew she wasn't gonna be able to take them. That's why I told her to leave me alone. I said, no, don't tag me or nothing. Trust me, you don't want to do that. She tagged me again. I have all the screenshots for when she kept tagging me. And I said, man, look, I told you good luck. I told her to put a sweat bag back on. So she was trying to say, oh, Mary's talking about people with weight problems. No, I'm not. You're a professional boxer. And if you're wearing a sweat bag, any other professional boxer knows that you are overweight and you have to lose weight for the fight. So I'm talking about the fact that you're going to be dehydrated because you have to wear a sweat bag to make weight. I'm not talking about nobody with weight problems. Then she's going to say, I'm talking about transgenders. No, I called you John Travolta and saying your chin is big like John Travolta's. It was a joke. You know what I'm saying? I never said nothing about nobody being trans. That didn't even cross my mind. So then I said something about her hair. Never said nothing about your hair. I posted a picture of her with Lord Farquaad because I was saying they looked alike because her chin looked like his and she, she just looked like him in that picture. Like I said, I'm funny. Don't bother me if you don't want me jabbing on you. That's all.
Yeah.
She couldn't take the and my thing was she could have said anything about me that she thought was funny besides race. I never came at her as her race or entity as who she was. You know what I'm saying? She came at me about my skin color. That's ridiculous.
So you were coming at it from a kind of like a joking manner, kind of dissing, having some fun.
Trash talking like Muhammad Ali used to do. Yeah. Basically, that's all.
And that was, for the record, there was no pre-concept of you trying to offend transvestites. You are not homophobic. You are not any of those things.
The girl that made my anthem song is a lesbian. The song Merciless Mary. Me and her like this. Like, why would I be homophobic? Make it make sense. And she's the only person that I ever allowed to make a song about me in my 20 years of boxing. So,
and to clarify even more for the viewers to get to know who you are, because I think there's a saying that it says perception is reality. Mm-hmm. And for you posted on your Instagram a fighter that you fought before that was in the process of transitioning.
Thank you.
Clarify that for the fans, because a lot of it got misconstrued in the comments, and you were trying to clarify it.
What you mean they misconstrued it?
A lot of people was trying to say like, what were you doing trying to fight a man or what?
Oh, yeah.
And you were defending her.
She was trying. My problem with Victoria Bustoff is, be honest, sweetheart, because I'm going to be honest. I am a shit talker. I don't know if I could curse.
Oh, you good.
I am. I think it's funny. I actually like the interaction if somebody else going to give it to me. You know what I mean? But like, if you notice the interaction between me and Chantel Cameron, she's my next opponent. But there's no beef because she doesn't give me that energy. So if you're not giving it to me, I'm not a bully. I'm not going to force it out of you. You got to give me something to make me jab and joke on you like that. Chantel don't give me none of that. So me and her has been very respectful among each other. But anyway, that's off the subject. I posted that because Victoria, after she realized she made the racial slur towards me and I got offended, very offended. Like, you don't call nobody. You basically want to call me the N-word, but you didn't say that. And we know for hundreds of years, what blacks have dealt with that. So for you to go there, you did it on purpose. So when she realized how I took it, she tried to get some people on her side, which is the LGBTQ community. So she gonna try to say that I was talking about transgenders and all that. So I made that post because that fight was about 5 years ago. And if you go through the post and you read the comments, you will see I was defending the girl, telling my fans like, no, it don't matter what she chooses to do outside the ring. You guys should be respectful of her for stepping in the ring with me. She's a woman, because she had came on there and commented and got offended too. Because all I did was post a picture of me and her at the weigh-in. Like, this is my opponent, whatever. And then they went on to disrespect her. It was never any beef between me and her, but she was in she was going through her transition at that time, but she was still considered a woman, which now if you go on Facebook, her name isn't DJ Morris anymore. It's David Morris. See what I'm saying? And I made sure that everybody was respectful towards her 5 years ago. So if I'm homophobic, why would I do that?
That's right.
I wouldn't have done that. That just how I naturally am. If you're not rude to me, I'm not rude to you.
Okay.
That's just how it go.
So I interviewed Victoria and I posted the story on NewYorkFights.com. You read the story. And the very next day after the story posted.
Yeah, everybody kept sending
it to you?
Yeah, I was getting it sent to me like, she lying on you, champ. And then I don't normally, I ain't gonna lie, I don't normally scan stories or whatever, but I'm like, let me read this. So I'm reading it. And I'm just like, she is like trying to, and then the main lie that eats me up, I sent her a personal message apologizing. That proves to me you meant what you said because you're lying. If you're telling the truth, post the message. Post the apology that you sent me, saying that you didn't mean it like that. She never said it, never sent it. So why lie? Because you meant what you said.
Yeah. So to clarify for the fans, what happened was I interviewed Victoria Bustos. Victoria Bustos gave me her side of the story as she saw things. I wrote the story. 24 hours after it posted, like it circulated, made it her way around to the champ. The champ tweeted lies. She is nothing but a liar, and she said a couple of tweets saying that what Victoria said in the interview was a bunch of lies. In particular, to her issuing you an apology via a private message that you says never happened.
Never.
And furthermore, if it did happen, you're asking for the screenshots of her sending you the apology.
Yeah, send the proof. Send the proof. She can't because it's never happened. All she did was block me. She kept trying to clarify she didn't mean it like that. They call people in their country monkey. Yeah, y'all call the people that is dark of skin monkey. And they're not even as dark as me. So you're calling them monkey because they're dark. See what I'm saying? They don't understand how offensive that is to a person of dark skin that's black. So, because I had to tell this one guy that inboxed me from Argentina, he was real nice about it. And he was like, well, maybe she didn't understand. I said, she very much understood. I said, because if she didn't, she would have said that. Well, I didn't mean it like that. She never has said that.
And that segues into my next question, because in the article, if you read, I asked her that in the interview. I said, hey, did you have any knowledge of what that meant to African Americans in the United States? And I explained it to her that the word monkey and the symbol of a monkey has been used to humiliate and offend African Americans for years. Did you have any knowledge of that? And she said no, that it was in the heat of the moment. But what you're telling me is you believe she knew what she was doing. Gotcha.
And after I told her, I specifically said, if you look at the message, I said, wow, that's racist. And then she gonna say underneath the message, you can't just say what you want to say to people, because I was saying, like I'm willing to admit, I was saying some things that would make you come at me pretty strong. But you still supposed to keep in content that you're a professional athlete. There's certain things you can't say.
Understand. And that's gotcha. So what do you make about the comments of her saying, if I was racist, would I have greeted you in Argentina, picked you up in the airport? Would I took a picture with you? Did those things happen when you went to Argentina?
No, I was treated terribly. I was treated terribly. You can ask my trainer. I was treated terribly. First and foremost, when I first got there, before I left here, and I never really tell this story because people will say I'll be making excuses up for my loss. When we left, we got to the airport in Miami. They told us we can't leave the country because they didn't pay our reciprocity fee. I don't know if you know what that means. I didn't at the time, but they said a reciprocity fee needed to be paid at the time of the tickets being booked. The person that booked the tickets was the Argentines. So obviously they knew this. So me and my coach had to spend the night at the airport and leave the next day on a 10-hour flight. So we fly over that 10 hours. We get there. Me, my coach, and my manager at the time was Lori Steinhort. We don't know their language. Our interpreter's not there to meet us. They put us on a bus that drove me around the city for 8 hours. 8 hours I'm riding around. People pointing at me, looking at me. They shocked. And I'm like, why is I'm scared? Because I'm like, why are these people looking at me like this? So we riding around for 8 hours to a place that only took 2 hours to get there. How I know? Because when the fight was over, it took them 2 hours to get me back to the airport. But they rode me around on this bus for 8 hours because the people that I was with did not speak English. I didn't speak Spanish. The two people I was with didn't speak Spanish. So we had a hard time explaining to them what hotel we supposed to go to. So we riding around, no sleep, no food. Finally, we get to the interpreter 8 hours later. He said, I've been waiting for you guys for a whole day and a half. I said, well, we got stuck at the airport. Then they put us on this bus and it rode us around the city, the countryside, no roads. It's different than America. So when I got to the interpreter, I finally got the chance to ask him. I said, why is everybody pointing at me? And my coach, it's like, I feel scared. He said, don't get offended, but we've never seen Black people in person, only on TV. I said, oh, he said, but don't worry. They think you're a beautiful girl. He said, we just never seen Black people. So some people are amazed. When I say point, they was like, oh, like, so I said, okay, cool. So I got that part. So when we there, he was gay. The guy that was my interpreter, a lot of places we went, they were being offensive towards him and talking trash to him. So with me and him, I had left something that I needed to go back and get, and he rode with me to go to the hotel and get it. So while we on our ride, I asked him, I said, what's wrong? Because I can tell he was sad. I said, what's wrong? He said, nothing. I said, it is something wrong with you. Tell me. Then he said, those guys were making fun of me for being gay. And back then, that was 5 years ago or more. No, that was 7 years ago because my son is going to be 7 this year. So that was over like 7 years ago, maybe 8. And he said that they were making fun of him because of his sexuality. And then he was like that. He had turned away from God at the time and all of that. And then as he kept talking to me, I told him, you shouldn't. It doesn't have nothing to do with that. You make your own choices in life, no matter who agrees with them or not. So anyway, when I got to my locker room, they had me downstairs in the basement. So I'm in Argentina. I think this was October or November. When's it October or November? It was something like that. They were coming out of winter. They were going into summer because we were going into winter in America. So, when you're in the basement, heat rises. So I'm downstairs in the cold. On my way walking down there, if you look on the ceiling, like I'm finna show you, for example. You see that spot on my ceiling?
Yeah.
Okay. On top of the spots, as I'm walking to the locker room, they spray painted nigger. So how I knew it was fresh because it was on top of the stains. So I told my coach, I said, look at that. They ain't even spell it right. They spelled the Niga. I said, and then when I go into my locker room, on the wall, on top of the rush was nigger. And then the whole locker room, I could call my coach right now if I'm lying, God can strike me down. The whole locker room smelled like somebody came in and just pissed all over the floor. It was 2 chairs in there. It was cold and the door was open to the basement. So my coach made me keep on my sweatsuit the whole time that I was sitting downstairs in the basement. I'm just sitting there. But me, my heart is so strong. I said, I don't care. Whatever happens, I'm still getting in the ring. Don't matter to me. I'm still getting in that ring and I'm fighting her. The whole time I was in the ring, if you notice the first half of the fight, like the first 6 or 7 rounds, go back and watch that fight. If you notice, they never showed a round in between, the 1 minute in between, because every single second of the round in between, when my coach should be talking to me, the referee was in the corner threatening me. I'm going to take a point away from you if you do this again. I'm going to take a point away from you for this. You do that, you do this every time. But if you notice the fight, the whole time, Erica kept holding me. He never did nothing to her about that. Never. So you can see it in my face in that fight, the discouragement that just built on me because of how I was being treated. I was treated terribly. So she can stop with that. I'll never go back to Argentina.
I understand, champ. I could tell that you reliving it right now. It's still pretty intense.
I'll never go back.
I understand. You said that if this fight would have happened as scheduled, if you had not suffered your injury, you said that you were going to punish her.
What?
That you were going to take it all.
I know for a fact she's racist. And one thing I hate is racism on any level. Like my favorite manager, when we were stuck there overnight at the airport, my manager is white. He had cancer. And he sat up all night long. He sat up all night long trying to make sure he paid $300 for me and then the $300 for my coach for us to leave the country. So after he paid the money, we left, we boarded the plane, we went over there for me to still fight. So for her to come and say like for her to come and say these lies, it's like, tell the truth. If you're going to say something, tell the truth. I'm telling the truth. I antagonized you. I said things to you that I knew would make you mad, but I'm not racist, bro. I do not like racist people at all. I was going to knock her clean out. She ain't never been knocked out in her life. I was going to knock her clean out. God saved her by giving me energy. I'm telling you, he saved her because she was going to suffer in that fight with me. I wasn't going to stop fighting her for nothing in the world. That was going to be my best performance y'all ever saw.
I understand, champ.
I remember how I was treated by them. That's why when me and Estache is cool, but that's why I did her the way I did her. I'll never forget how I was treated. That's why Erica can't win a fight today. I believe in karma. Not every time she gets in a fight with somebody in America, she loses.
I understand, champ, and I know that this is tough to talk about, but I really appreciate
because I never mentioned it before. Because all people would say is, "Oh, you making up excuses because you lost. Oh, you're just saying that because you lost in the past." No, those type of things scarred me, but they also made me a better fighter. They also made me who I am today. Those people are racist. I don't care. I'm not gonna say all of them, but Victoria is. So I'm not going to say everybody. I'm not going to put that off on everybody because everywhere there's good people. The interpreter that I met over there, he was a good person. When I left there, I put like $600 or $700 in his pocket because then $1 of ours was $7 of theirs. And I just wanted him to know that people still love you, regardless of what your sexuality is. And I'm going to send you, me and him are friends on Facebook just to prove my point. I'll send you inbox messages between me and him. And I'll send you who he is so you'll know I don't have nothing to lie about. I don't care what people think about me. I don't care how people feel about the fact that I'm a shit talker. It's true. Sometimes I'm wrong, but hey, I'm human. You know what I mean?
Yeah, please send me that. I would appreciate that. And yeah. And like I said, I know these things are hard to talk about, especially when you are the receiving end of an experience like that. And I appreciate you.
And I really wanted to fight her. And by the way, she also lied. You can't fight for the IBF title without the IBF champ. I have never denied defending my title, not one time. So they have no legal right to take it from me. You have to give a fighter a 60-day grace period with an injury, a proven injury.
I understand. So obviously, on your expression and how you feel, this touched the core of who you are. It's just the core of your being. It offended you highly. Is there anything that Victoria Bustos could do to maybe start to repair this thing with you?
Stop lying. Apologize. I owe her an apology too. because I hurt her feelings and the things that I said. And if I knew that what I said would hurt you or what I was saying would break you, I wouldn't have went that far. But she was tagging me as if she wanted that interaction. That's what I gave her. But if I knew the words that I was going to say was going to hurt you to the point to where it pushed you to go, will really show who you really are, not saying the racist comments. But if I knew what I said was going to hurt you, then all you had to do was say that to me. I'm always willing to admit where I'm wrong at, but I'm not going to sit back and let somebody consistently lie about the situation and say, oh, we would have welcomed you with open arms. No, I've been to Argentina, sweetheart. I've been there, and there's nothing about it that makes me want to come back from the way I was treated. So, you know, it's just the start is to just stop lying. Just stop lying, bro. Just stop lying about the situation. Because I'm not gonna lie. If you came back to me right now and you mentioned anything I said and I said it, I promise you, I'll tell you I did whether I was right or wrong.
Is there anything you want to say to your fans or maybe the boxing fans that may not know who you are, about your character, that perhaps maybe got a negative impression between all this back and forth about you? Is there anything you want to say to them?
I mean, if they got a negative impression about me, I do apologize because I'm not a negative person. I mean, I'm a fighter. And being a fighter, a lot of us are aggressive. And a lot of us express ourselves in different ways, as Muhammad Ali did, as a great fighter like Clarissa Shields does. We do express ourselves, and sometimes we seek those verbal interactions with our opponent because it also draws fans, you know? So I figure if she wants this interaction from me and I'm giving it back to her and it's funny to the fans or entertaining, it draws the fans more in, we do it. But I'm also not the person to do that to a person that doesn't seek that interaction. So if that's what they got from me, no, I don't just go around bullying people or picking fights. I pick the fights that pick with me because I feel like that's what the fans want. And if I'm wrong for that, I apologize because I'm not here to hurt nobody because I don't like to be hurt. I mean, I'm a very passionate person. My feelings get hurt too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not here to hurt nobody.
Understand. Thank you. Thank you for sending that message. All right. How's your recovery coming from your knee?
Right now, I'm still in a brace and I'm on crutches because I can walk, but it's best that I don't bear any weight on my knee.
How long are they saying is the recovery period?
The doctor said anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. It's already been 2 weeks since the injury, almost 2 weeks. But and I'll say it's getting better, but it ain't fight better. Okay. And that was the only reason why I pulled out of the fight, because when I first injured it, I couldn't even put my foot on the ground. And, you know, I feel like everything happened for a reason. You know, I did hurt her feelings, so it could have been a punishment for me from God for some of the things that I said, you know. And it was just like, well, damn, like, why did this happen? And I mean, also, I don't know, I was gonna hurt her. Maybe God didn't want her to get beat that bad. I don't know.
Oh, I understand the thinking and the reasoning. All right, yeah. So tell the fans, when's the next time they're gonna be able to see you do your thing, champ?
Well, I was told October is a tentative date. I'm planning on being healed by at least September, maybe the second week of September. I should be able to start back training, like literally training on the leg again. Because I don't want to push myself too far, too fast, and then I end up hurting myself worse. So I'm actually really focusing on my healing right now. But yeah, I should start back training sometime in September and hopefully be fighting Chantel Cameron in October.
October. Where they planning on holding this fight?
That I don't know.
Okay, they haven't picked the venue yet.
No, I just heard. I've seen posts that Chantel tagged me in and saying that it's a possible fight between me and her in October, and I'm looking forward to that. Like a lot of people would think, like coming off of an injury and a long layoff, that I shouldn't take that type of fight. But I have confidence in my skills. And as long as I've been boxing, all I would need is a couple weeks to get my wind underneath me. and I'll be fine. Because I have the skills, and they'll see that come October. I've been fighting long enough to where I think I have the skills to win the fight. So I'm tired of waiting. This fight I was excited about. It was for 2 belts, and I was prepared for whatever she brought. So when I got injured, it really it depressed me a lot. It sagged me down a lot. It humbled me. So yeah.
Gotcha. So after this fight in October, if it does take place, what's the future look like for Merciless McGee?
Well, winning this fight makes the future look great, because then I've been to fought on the zone and got the attention of a lot of new fans. It'd probably be Eddie Hearn's first time really watching me fight. I get to fight a great champion like Chantel Cameron. She's a great fighter. She's undefeated, and I mean, she's been nothing but respectful towards me. So I can't really say nothing disrespectful about her. I do believe I have the skills to beat her, which I'm sure she feels she has skills to beat me as well. And I think that's another thing on another note. I think Victoria's issue with me was my confidence in myself, because I said I believe I can stop her. You shouldn't be mad about that. That's what we're in boxing for. And that's what she came back and commented and said, you need to show some humility, because I believe in myself. So, believing in yourself don't mean that I'm not humble. I believe that I can beat you. The same as with Chantel. I'm sure she believes she can beat me, and I believe I can beat her. So that's what makes for a great fight.
Gotcha. Well, champ, I want to thank you for taking time.
You are more than welcome.
And I want to thank you for coming on my channel. I want to thank you for clarifying, telling us your side of the story. I want to wish you a speedy recovery.
Please do, because you see me pulling my crutches outside.
Yeah, I see.
So I can move around.
Yeah, you got an appointment coming up here in a few.
Yeah, I got to go to the doctor. So
right.
He hasn't cleared me for therapy yet. He wants me to continue to rest the leg for another 2 weeks. So that's why he gave me the stint of 4 to 6 weeks for it to be healed, because I don't start therapy for 2 more weeks.
All right, fight fans, there you have it. You got the version as she sees it from the champion, the IBF champion, Mary Merciless McGee. You can see in her fighting, if you watch her fights on YouTube, you can see in her attitude, you can see in her spirit that she's a true warrior, and that this injury she's going to bounce back from and be better than ever. Check her out. Keep up with her. She's a great fighter. She's a great person. Champ, once again, thank you for coming on my show.
Having me.
All right.